Hello, my viewers and subscribers. Welcome to another video from Jamaica Politics Uncovered. Guys, it is so nice to finally hear from Glasspole Brown. Finally, he explains to the Jamaican people the election process, and he explained why it took 4 days for the EOJ to give Jamaica the final report on the local government election. Have a listen.
The official and final count from the Electoral Office of Jamaica, EOJ, days after the local government election.
Director of Elections, Glasspole Brown, says the process took the time it did due to the usual scrutiny placed on ballots by candidates and their lawyers.
Now, Mr. Brown added that this count was also much faster than some elections in the past.
So why did they send PNP supporters to the EOJ's office to protest then?
The country had to wait a total of 4 days for the official score, but the results of the final count released by the EOJ on Friday confirmed the ruling JLP won majority of the divisions in 7 parishes, while the PNP, on the other hand, won majority of the divisions in 5 parishes. The final count read: St. Thomas, JLP 6, PNP 4, Portland, JLP 7, PNP 2, St. Mary, JLP 6, PNP 7, St. Anne, JLP 11, PNP 5, Trelawney, JLP 6, PNP 3, St. James, JLP 11, PNP 6. In Hanover, the PNP won all 7 divisions. Westmoreland, JLP 3, PNP 11, St. Elizabeth, JLP 9, PNP 6, Manchester, JLP 3, PNP 12, Clarendon, JLP 12, PNP 10, and St. Catherine, JLP 19, PNP 22. But the PNP will hold the mayorship post in Kingston and St. Andrew after it polled more votes than the JLP. There was a 20-20 split in the divisions. Portmore will also have a mayor from the PNP. Director of Elections Glasspole Brown provided this explanation for the time it took to return a complete count.
I think some cases it takes a while because the debate that goes over on each ballot whether it's a valid ballot or not, and it takes some time. The time fluctuates from within a different counting centers, and so that to a certain extent contributed to the time, and we have to diligently check every ballot to ensure that at the end of the day what is approved or what is deemed as a valid ballot is correct based on the law. And there are issues at times in a recount that is beyond EOJ's control. It has nothing to do with EOJ, but it more so to the process and that what took place. And the country must recall that in the past it took much longer than what happened in this case. We were able to complete our count between Tuesday and Thursday night.
So it sounds like it was like any normal election event in the past. I mean, the EOJ said that this was even a little faster. So I don't know where there would be an issue.
Boy, what a local government election exciting. I'm Dion Jacksmiller, you're watching All Angles. And since Monday night, everyone has been asking, so who won? Both parties have been saying, me, I won. Well,
and then what the returning officer does at the night of election, they then take all the number, transcribe the number that is on the ballot box, and they end up with what is known as the preliminary count. That was done, and the result was announced on the night, on Monday night, as it relates to the preliminary count. Then we embarked on another phase, and this is dictated by the law. The law requires us to do a final count. The final count entails, and I think the public need to understand, that what happens in the final count, and it has never taken place, and there's a narrative going around that it is slow. The final count has never been completed in Jamaica in 24 hours. So the process entails that the returning officer, in the presence of the agents at the counting center on the second day, which was Tuesday, and at times the agent representative is a battery of lawyers. What they do, the returning officer opens the ballot box, then examine every document, most of the document in the ballot box, including the poll books, another thing, the unused ballots, etc., etc. And then they begin, in most cases, the count of the ballot. What it means is that they examine every single ballot that is put in the ballot box. And at times, the time that it takes to count a ballot in that situation, sometimes it takes longer than the norm, because everybody is looking to see whether it is properly marked, if there's an issue. And therefore, sometimes it takes time. And therefore, that process has to be completed. We cannot circumvent that process in order to speed up the count. And therefore, it takes some time. And that's what we're going through.
So then, what happened in Clarendon?
Clarendon, and it happens. In other words, what we remember again, on Monday night, you have a preliminary count. There are times when they begin to do the final count, maybe there was an error in terms of the addition, etc., etc. What happened in Clarendon is that in a particular box, one of the candidates was given the wrong number of votes, and therefore it flips around. But the person who got the highest number in that particular box, the correct thing was that he should have gotten the lower figure, and that changes the mix or the calculation.
And this was in the Annan Town division. So which candidate initially got the wrong number of votes? Like how did it go? On which side?
The PMP candidate got the wrong number.
Which would have declared that candidate the winner
on the night, on the preliminary count night.
On the preliminary count, and then it was
switched around. So therefore, in the final count, the correction was made, and then the JLP candidate won that division.
Okay. What happened with St. Mary?
St. Mary, it was the calculation and the addition that took place. Right? That caused, after that count was completed, and you'll examine what was spoiled, examine what was acceptable by the returning officer. And then remember, the returning officer at the point of counting is the final person in that room that accepts what is a good ballot or what is not a good ballot. So doing those checks and those reconciliation, the numbers change, and that's what happens in the SM area. I think that says, again, as a country, you need to understand, it's a preliminary count that takes place on the Monday, the night of election. And in doing your final checks, or the final check, the numbers can change. The key thing that the numbers change based on what is legitimate ballot, and therefore that's what happened why you had that fluctuation in Hanover.
Especially given what we're seeing now with the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, I have to ask you this question. Is it the practice of the Electoral Commission to declare a municipal corporation won by one party because they got the popular vote, even though the number of divisions are tied?
No, we are not declaring that. What we're declaring, we are declaring the number of electoral division that each political party would have won in the election. In terms of who take control of the municipality, the law is clear. If you read the 8th of the Europa, it clearly outlines what happened whenever there's a tie. Whenever there's a tie, the party with the popular vote will automatically takes charge of the mirror seat in that electoral division.
And just for regular parlance, so the average man can understand, would the Electoral Commission consider that corporation won by the party who has the popular vote?
It's not a matter of the Electoral Commission will consider it. The law clearly defines the process, what happens when there's a tie. And therefore, it's not a matter of accepting or not accepting. The law says whenever there's a tie, the person who takes over the chairmanship of that municipality is a party that has the popular vote, the majority of the popular vote.
The general secretaries of both the JLP and the PNP, speaking to Dion Jackson Miller on Beyond the Headlines yesterday, said that their confidence in the EOJ remains. We've seen some people on social media, however, raising concerns about the integrity of the electoral office this time around. Can I respond to some of those concerns?
We work hard here. I think people need to understand the process. I think my comments is, if you look at the comments, I think when some members of people don't understand the process, and therefore they're able to pass certain comments. But certainly we ensure and we do whatever we do as dictated by the law, and we'll never resign from that. We're not going to do anything that is not dictated to us by the law. And you can, and one of the major body which we rely upon here is the CAFE, the Observer Grouping. And we have always been in the house by the Observer Group.
Yes, guys. So as you can hear, Mr. Glasspole Brown pretty much explained thoroughly the proceedings of the election and corrected most of the misunderstanding that people had, and some based on the distortion by the opposition on what was supposed to take place, or what, that whole confusion between the blunder by Nationwide and the opposition still claiming that he has 7 when he really has 5. And as you can hear, Mr. Glasspole Brown said that, with the tie, he's not saying that anybody won. You can't win something in a tie. It doesn't work that way in this case. They get certain privileges because they have the popular vote, but it doesn't mean for Kingston and St. Andrew that anybody won. The JLP didn't win it, neither did the PNP. The PNP just was able to do certain things to have the mayor because of the amount of people that voted it there. Where St. Catherine and Portmore are concerned, I think we are mostly already aware that no one can claim St. Catherine and Portmore at the same time, because if you're going to claim St. Catherine, you already have Portmore included in it. And that's where a lot of people are getting confused. I saw one person ask, doesn't Jamaica have 14 parishes? I say, yeah, but Kingston and St. Andrew is fused in one. So that would make 13. You understand where the parish council is concerned? So it's good that Mr. Brown explained very well. So I hope that this pretty much brings more clarity to where we had any ambiguity about the process. Thank you for keeping it locked here to Jamaica Politics Uncovered. Make sure you're sharing the channel with your friends. Make sure you are subscribed, you have your notification on, and I'll see you in the next video.